Welcome to Chapter 5. In this chapter, we'll dive right into particle systems. We'll learn how to create and control particle systems to create various effects. Let's begin.
So, what is a particle system? Well, let me show you. Let's go ahead and add in an object. I'll just add in a plane. This is probably the simplest version of a particle system that you can create in Blender. Now you'll notice that particle system isn't really a part of the physics, but it does interact with physics, so I wanted to include it in this course. Right above our physics tab is our particles tab. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you're not really going to see a whole lot. But if you click this plus sign, you will. You'll see your particle emitter. Now there's particles and hair. We're primarily going to be focusing on the particle emitter system. Now if I go back to frame 0 here, and I go ahead and press play, you'll notice that we have our particle system. Now this is just Blender's default version of the particle system emulator, and right now it's just going to be simulating a bunch of different spheres that are dropping. Now these are basically particles, as the name implies, and there's a lot that we want to understand about these particles. The most important factors are right here. Well, first of all, we have the number of particles. So we're emitting 1,000 particles. That makes sense. We also have the seed, which is essentially just a value for randomness. We're not really going to talk about that too much. We have our frame start and our frame end. Now, this is really important because where our emission starts and ends is super important, because those 1,000 spheres that we're dropping, that distance, that 1 to 200 frame count, that's how long it will take for all 1,000 to drop. So I'm going to go ahead and lower this down to 100. And now you're going to see a lot more particles if we back this up. See how there's many more particles now? That's because Blender knows that those 1,000 need to be dropped within 100 frames. If we look at our lifetime here, this is how long a particle lasts until it's dead. Now, it is quite sad that the particle dies, but what it means is it basically disappears. So if we set this lifetime to 100, now we know that over 100 frames, the particle should last that long. So if I go ahead and I drag this out to 120 on our timeline, and I press play, we should have all 1,000 drop, and then around 100, it should stop. And it does. So around frame 100, you can see that our particles stop emitting at that point, and you can see that they begin to die off. Let's go ahead and go back. Now, another thing to consider is the lifetime randomness. If you want to, you can go ahead and raise this value, and they'll basically just randomly disappear and reappear.